And you see that across like a lot of the VR content creators. You know, they're kind of like almost grasping at straws for waiting for like a new VR game to come out. And when Meta is the only one like releasing big like exclusive titles like Deadpool or something, there's only like a big thing to talk about every couple of months or something.
What's going on, everybody? Stubbs here from Retro Handhelds. We are back at it today with another offline podcast episode, interviewing our very, very good friend, Mr. GG of Gamers Generation. Welcome, sir.
Heyo.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And as you may know, we also have the Tech Daddy, Mr. Rob, the Retro
Hi,
Tech
everyone.
Dad.
It's good to be here as always.
As I understand it, you two kind of have a history, at least Rob. You've been watching GG's content since way before RH started, right?
I remember from early in the days, he was doing like these news segments, and I remember he referenced one of my videos early on, and so that's actually how I found GG. So I've known about him for, man, what is that, 3-4 years now, I would say? It's been a while, so yeah, no, I'm very familiar.
Yeah, and I'm a little more new to your content, actually, well, at least in the last year or so, where I saw your XR coverage, and I'm like, this is the XR guy. Yes. And I want to learn everything. And we had you on recently on our stream where we covered, all the Feature XR stuff and some of the Claw stuff. And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me on there. And just so everybody knows that's watching at home, Rob didn't tell me that before we started recording. I mean, tonight anyway. I had no idea. So yeah, way to make me feel awkward. I mean, I've been watching his stuff and RH and Stubb stuff for years. That's why I knew it to reference it. But if you are curious and you go and look on my channel, none of that new stuff that he's talking about is on there because like only like him and 3 other people watched it. So like, I deleted that. That's like long gone.
They were good. I like them.
How long have you been doing this, man? Let's see.
It's been a little while. I didn't really I guess, as serious as you could call it. I mean, I didn't start taking it seriously until maybe 2-ish or 2.5 years ago. But before that, I honestly did try to just, start filming and start putting stuff out as they say, but it was bad. It was real bad.
We all are our own worst critics because I haven't seen any.
Yes.
I haven't seen any bad content, but I'll take your
you're
word
saying that, but all the comments were pretty bad. So yeah, there's a meme, and the part of our shared community, and I guess my home base being Handhelds United, I have this reputation of being an AI, and it's not because I'm a know-it-all. I mean, I am a know-it-all, and people are quick to tell me that, but it's actually because of my earlier videos. I would use those tools to cut out your filler words and stuff, and it sounded so horrible, but I didn't hear it. So I guess that already makes me a robot, and people are just like, yo, this is AI. This is deep faked, or that's what all the comments said. And this is actually before they had all of the speech generated stuff. So I was like, I feel like I shouldn't take this personally, but it's pretty obvious that there's something wrong here, and I don't think I have I don't think I need hearing aids, but I didn't hear it. So I've just been trying to improve things from there slowly, but that reputation has preceded me. It's still everywhere. People are out now. If there's some AI slop on the channel or whatever, they're like, oh, I bet GG's cousin made this, or maybe he made it yesterday or something. Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, once in a while I got comments early on was is this AI? The voice was AI, and I'm like, I learned to speak a little bit differently over time. I mean, if you watch my really early videos compared to my last video, it's very obvious that I have learned to speak a little bit faster. I'm not having as many pauses in between, and just kind of improving the flow, I guess, in terms of what my videos are. So, we learn from this stuff. And I mean, the comments, I guess you just take that and you take it as a form of criticism, but something that's actually helpful though. And you see, I mean, look where you are now. So that's a good thing.
I appreciate that. That's very reassuring. I like that advice. I think I'm also
Stubbs gets accused of being AI all the time. I don't even know why.
Isn't it once in a while you have those AI transitions or whatever? Is that the reason?
I think it's the thumbs.
Like there's the one of you dancing. I think that's
I
like
think it's the thumbs.
it's the thumb.
Hey, there's nothing
Just
AI about that.
No,
That's
no,
real
no, no,
me.
no.
That's
Yeah, I know. I
really you,
believe that.
yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
No, maybe it's
I-
like Rob said. It's the stubs. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now, though. I deleted that because it's awful and it creeps me out. It's like Uncanny Valley because that was an AI.
I know.
I see.
And now, because then everybody since then is like, "Oh, you're AI."
Yeah,
and,
right.
I'm like, I can't shake it. I can't. So you know what? Let's be AI bots together. Now we're AI shared.
There
bots.
you go.
Rob, are you AI or are you the sort of the player who's controlling the AI?
I'd like to be the player controlling the AI, but I mean, like I said, early days, once in a while, I'll get a comment about that. And it's the same thing as GG. I would use like Audacity and I would clean up the audio. My mic setup wasn't as good. I had a lot of background noise, and it's still a challenge even to this day, so it is what it is, but less of it nowadays. I'm sure, GG, you probably get less of it now on your videos too. I mean, your videos sound great to me, so I don't hear it. I personally don't hear it. I don't.
That's kind of you. I just roll with it now. If they say, "Yo, is this guy a robot?" and I'll just reply and
the
say,
best is
"Yeah,
when you
aren't
reply.
you?"
Yeah, exactly. Like that. That's what I've done too. I'm like, wait, like, what do you mean?
Yeah, aren't you a robot too? Like,
yeah, you just have to kind of roll with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
You really do. And for people who might not know you or might not be introduced, you are a channel called @Gamers-Generation. You're also part of the Handhelds United community, the Discord, and they also you all have a YouTube channel, as well as various podcasts, which all kind of intersect, which I find super fascinating. It's so cool to see so many creators across each other's content, which has inspired us here again to be like, hey, let's go do a bunch of collabs and kind of cross-sect HU with our H a bit more. And that's been a ton of fun. But anyways, you're almost at 7K here, 122 freaking videos under your belt already since 2021. And you are covering AR, XR, MR, mixed reality, VR, all things handheld. And you really focus a lot, I see, on guides, which is always a great sign. You're starting out with how to help people first. You're coming from a place of help versus jumping straight to, here's review after review after review. It's nice to mix it up with some of those this community-minded videos. And there's a ton of that on your channel.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I was actually very impressed by how much XR content there was. I mean, really, you are the go-to person. It was funny because I saw the the X Reels. I actually just bought that myself because I've been kind of going through an XR journey, trying to see which ones work the best for my eyes. And I saw one of your more recent videos was about that. So, again, this is all really helpful stuff and kind of get your ideas and takes on some of the things.
I'm glad you find that useful, Rob, because I'm digging at the bottom of the barrel here. It's all the good
I think
ideas.
once you get a kind of I don't know, some type of template of how to review something like that, and you can kind of apply it to other things and modify it as you go along. But you seem to have a rhythm down with this kind of stuff, and XR stuff is hard to convey on camera and hard to really review in that sense. But I think you've done a very good job of it.
Those zoom ins, though, yeah,
I try. Thankfully for me, people seem to be more interested in XR stuff. I guess because it's not this big bulky headset on your face.
Correct.
But you always get all these questions like, oh, can I play my VR games? And they're not really the same. And that's the tough thing, because somebody will go in with some expectation. It's like with your retro handhelds. They'll buy. They'll buy something that really isn't supposed to be playing a certain thing, and then
God of War 3. That's the running joke with me and Andrew,
right?
Because everyone will ask me, "Does it run God of War 3?" It's
yeah,
you're break it to you,
Yeah, exactly.
It's tough. Yeah.
No, that's exactly right. It's it says that it can play all those games. They're like, well,
Correct. Or they're under the assumption if it can play a certain segment of games, maybe from a platform, that they just assume that all of them can run, and it's not so simple, especially when it comes to emulation. So the expectations. It's always important to temper people's expectations, but it doesn't always seem to work.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Unfortunately, I mean, I'd like to think for a vast majority of people, like even if they find it useful, they're they at most they probably just leave a like, but they're not really going to comment on anything because they got what they wanted.
Correct.
But at the same time, it is challenging because sometimes you really don't know what people want. Unless they specifically leave you a comment and say, hey, could you do a guide about this? And that's where I find that, having the community, having the Discord, like with RH and with HU's Discord, that's very helpful because people will go in there and they'll say, I'm looking for this, or I need help with this. And, it's kind of like a springboard, or maybe like, something you can work from, right?
Yeah, it's always good.
Yeah, I love when the community gets involved, and like, I'll get people who tag me and they'll show me like, oh, this is like interesting product, or oh, can you test this game? If you're going to do a review on this and things like that. And so I always try to make note of those kind of things as best as I can. But it is very helpful to have the community involvement. It definitely is a springboard. I think that's like the perfect thing to say.
It's not only that too. It's just that you find yourself the expert in a particular topic, particular niche, and you do you bear. I don't want to say responsibility, but, I can tell you take it seriously. You're not just like, oh, these are good, these are kind of bad, whatever.
Right.
You're really diving into the details, and you're like kind of the Russ almost of the XR glasses. I just gotta call it out and say, if you want XR glasses information, AR, VR, MR, check out the man here. Subscribe.
GG's your guy. Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.
And I feel like XR is still very much evolving, and it's evolving at a very rapid pace. And it's amazing, even looking like 2-3 years ago where it was compared to now. I mean, like the glasses are getting so good. I was kind of blown away by how much better even the latest ones I tried on compared to just 2 years ago. And I'm like, oh, they added this, and these are all really useful features that I need and make use of. So it's a good place to be. I think you're in an emerging segment that's going to keep changing.
Yeah, I think you're totally right, and I hope so too. Our good friend who you just had on the offline episode, Clef, was talking about, like the Inmo Air 3s. Those are kind of like right now in a class of their own. So even though they're a first gen product, we look maybe a year from now when they're a little bit more matured, like, wow, that has a potential for like everyone who can afford it anyway to be wearing one of those.
Yeah. Everything just integrated into the glasses itself.
Yep.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Which is, again, just freaking nuts. And Valve is making moves too now, which is cool. What's your thoughts on the Steamframe coming from this XR world?
It's really interesting because I think they've really positioned themselves in a very smart way. I mean, if you look at like all, how they do the Steam hardware surveys, they've looked at how a majority of gamers that use PC VR are Quest users, so probably after some time, Stubbs, I know you have a Valve Index, right? So after some time, they've probably thought, no, we need to get some of this market back, and what they've done with the Steam Deck was just, the kind of like the proto phase for that, I guess. And now what they're going to do with this, I think, has real potential to shake it up. I mean, I know you guys have talked about it on your live podcast before about, like the especially with Carrie, the Fox. Talking about like, the like FEX, which is kind of like a proton, right? And, like leptin, that's going to make the potential. I think as soon as someone like is able to grab an image of the ROM that's on the Steamframe, open up the door for all these kinds of emulators to work on on Android. And I'm looking forward to the 5-hour, Rob guide on what you can play on every single Android handheld out there. I don't envy your job there, Rob, just to be clear. That's probably like 2 months.
PC gaming testing takes a while to do. I mean, a lot of this testing takes forever, man.
I bet. But at the same time, I think while this thing is interesting, it's almost like it's the last bastion of like VR anyway. I mean, because they're not really
last chance, right?
Yeah, they're not positioning it as like, XR or like MR, right? It has black and white cameras. So you can't really do it for like mixed reality stuff. You can, but like, it's not going to be the same experience. It'll be like using PSVR 2, which is, less of an immersive experience than using Quest 3. And so like, they've really positioned it as like useful for Steam VR games and useful for playing what the VR community calls flat games, right? So like, a regular game in a big virtual screen. And so I think it's a clever way to maybe get people into the ecosystem, and then hopefully they're interested enough to see, hey, you know what? Looks like Half-Life Alyx is on sale. Maybe let me try this VR game, and then that opens the door for them. So, but at the same time, that last chance thing, I think if it fails, like PC VR games might be in for it really rough. I mean, if it fails at that point, it might be all only
it's done,
like XR stuff. And like VR specifically.
Jeez, it's a lot of pressure.
Will be in trouble. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've already seen, like, more specifically, like in the VR stuff, like HTC has like bowed out. And if you've been seeing some of the
it's funny
news,
because they went all in on it.
Yeah, right.
So they gave up their mobile division, everything. They went all in on VR. So
Right. And then if we see like the news headlines about Meta, they're talking about like pulling back from like Quest because, they realize the money makers are like the Ray-Ban Metas, right? And like the smart glasses sector. And like they were even going to license like their OS, the custom Android Horizon OS, to like Lenovo and Asus to make headsets. But I think that's like canceled now too. So
with the RAM crisis and all that.
Probably. But yeah, so like it's not looking good for VR enthusiasts specifically, but
we just missed each other on that train. I was so heavy into VR around here, even first year at CES 2023, where VR really was the push. I think that year was the last year, was a big push, and now XR got bigger and bigger, and now it's AI. So it's almost like we crossed paths, but not directly. To where it was like a main focus for us. Because I would still love, though, to talk about VR with you. And my Index, I love it. I don't use it. I don't use my Quest 3.
That's what ended up happening to me, was I just ended up not using these headsets anymore. And like, I've had great experiences in VR, but I don't know what it is. I guess it's just having that mental barrier of I gotta get my headset out, put the headset on, and all of that. And it just feels like there's this interesting layer between just getting into the experience and then having all of this in the way of it. And I mean, the Quest is probably the closest to that dream of what I wanted, where it was just no cables. You just put it on. And I played a lot of Beat Saber on that thing. Let me tell you, I mean, I have done a lot of gaming on the Quest, but I think with the Quest, when the Quest 3 came out, that was kind of when my interest started to fade, and I just haven't really done a lot of VR more recently. So, yeah.
And you see that across like a lot of the VR content creators, they're kind of like almost grasping at straws for waiting for like a new VR game to come out. And when Meta is the only one like releasing big like exclusive titles like Deadpool or something, there's only like a big thing to talk about every couple of months or something. Right. And so I do think the Steamframe is making the right choice, like positioning themselves like with how it looks like a very lightweight headset, kind of like in under the guise of like an Apple Vision Pro. I think that's very smart, because it's exactly as you said, Rob. It's this barrier, almost like a mental block, I would say. Even if like the headset is like smaller, the fact that you got to put it on, like Stubb said, press the button and do all this kind of stuff, and like sync up your controllers, everything is just like an extra barrier and an extra step. And when that happens, that's 2 or 3 more barriers to you getting into the game that you want to play, and nobody wants to do that. Like we see that like with Windows handhelds, and that's why like Steam OS is really taking off.
Yeah, because most people just want to turn it on and launch the game, and that's it. They don't want to do anything else.
Yeah, 100%.
It's funny though, because like in my household, I mean, my son plays VR literally every single day with his friends, and they play on the Quest 3 and they're playing multiplayer. So it's weird because like in my small world, it seems like VR is doing well, but I know that's not necessarily the reality of it, but it's still popular in some segments. So it's kind of interesting,
It's still exciting. I really like games like there's an Assassin's Creed experience on the Quest, which was awesome. Nexus maybe it was called.
Yeah, right.
Been a little while since I tried it out, but that was so cool. Medal of Honor was a neat idea. I think they do it the best on the PC version. So I'm still going to try out the Steamframe.
I'm definitely going to try it out. I have to, yeah.
I'm a believer in it. I think they can pull it off. And you're right. If they don't, then who can save them? I mean, Meta's not going to be innovating there. It doesn't seem like anymore. Oculus, they're making all their other things now, Game Boys and all that. Well, the creator anyways moved on to doing all that. But you know, they're not going nuts either. And so Valve really does have it on their shoulders to try to carry this. And damn, did they?
I mean, they were
through.
kind of the ones to really start it out, right? I mean, I was there day one with HTC Vive, and you know, I remember setting up the base stations. I mean, talk about barriers to entry. I mean, it was not cheap in that time. I mean, nowadays you look back and it's like, wow, that is pretty cheap. But you know, you had the cables, you needed a super powerful computer, and then you had the base stations and all the wires, and you know, I mean, we've come so far from that, but I think that most people just still think of VR as being this kind of, you know, difficult thing to get going, and the Quest has done a lot to kind of alleviate that, but I think it's just a niche, you know. I mean, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's almost like a niche within a niche, right? Because it's like like a very specific type of gaming, and then like within gaming, it's like, you know, its own little subsector.
Yep.
So yeah, that definitely makes things more challenging for sure. But you actually just you were just reminded me of something, Rob. I remember watching your Quest 3 video where you did a bunch of emulation on it, and I remember. Cool. Yeah, and I remember like going down a rabbit hole on that, and I was like, wait a minute, you can do 3DS on this? This is wild, you know.
Virtual Boy, before Nintendo brought it back with their accessory. I mean, Virtual Boy is really cool in the Quest. It's actually pretty awesome experience.
Yeah, and then you can do like PSP also, which is even like wider than, you know, like the regular like aspect ratio. I don't know. There's some like really cool, crazy stuff that
there is some crazy stuff. Yeah,
I think like a lot of people just won't experience it all because like, you know, they're not willing to even give it a shot or tinker with it.
Yeah, it's tough. And also because it's kind of like its own platform, right? It's a separate ecosystem basically. And so it's tough. Yeah. I mean,
this is the video.
Yeah, you know what's funny? That's such an old video now. I mean, I'm like thinking about it, that's probably like a 2-year-old video at this point.
Still a great video.
Yeah, no, it is. No, it is a great video.
It's got me experimenting with emulation on my Quest finally.
Virtual Boy is the coolest thing on that. I love that. My favorite thing I did with this video was I like left my office and walked out to my backyard because that was the breakthrough for the Quest 3 when it came out. It was so good, and the pass through was amazing on that.
Yeah. And to be fair to the Quest 3, I mean, because I think you made this video like earlier on in its lifespan.
Yes.
And like since then, they've done a lot of things, like surely under the pressure or because of the pressure of the Apple Vision Pro. But, you know, now they have like all the hand tracking. You can have like multiple apps up and everything. Like, wow, you can do a lot with this thing. And that's where, like, going back to the Steamframe, I kind of feel like you're probably not going to be able to do as much simply because, you know, it's like a kind of new variant of SteamOS. So I'm not sure like what the expectation is like for people who buy it who aren't like, you know, diehard Valve like Steam people. You know what I mean? Like people who come in like from a Steam Deck, like having like if the Steam Deck is their main device, they're going in with the Steamframe, like they're gonna love it for sure. Even if like whatever the shortcomings are, like they're gonna love it. Someone who's maybe I'll not say that. I mean, you know, there's good things. There's good things coming from it, particularly like the.
No,
sorry,
you're good. You're
oh
good.
no, I was going to say there's some like cool things that are coming from it, like particularly the the foveated streaming. That's like a really cool thing, you know. And like the dedicated, basically like Wi-Fi hotspot. Like there's some good things there that like other VR headsets don't even have that are way more expensive, right? But
the foveated stuff is
the foveated stuff is awesome. That's a big deal, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And like that's going to go great with whatever price they decide to make it and the Steam machine. That's going to be a deadly combo for someone who doesn't already have a PC. But for someone who already has like a dedicated like PC VR setup, I don't know. They might be like I'm losing a lot here by going with this, you know. Especially
which is
if
why I think the whole having the FX compatibility and having that's going to be a big deal because you're kind of merging the two worlds, the mobile VR stuff and the PC VR stuff. And if we can play the PC VR stuff fairly well or a lot of it, that's really interesting. Then you're essentially doubling the library, which is a big deal.
Right. 100%. Yes.
Yeah. And of course, the streaming, like you were saying, is also going to be probably really good on this too. I mean, the streaming experience, I think it's going to be wireless too, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
8 Gen 3 in here too.
Yeah, the foveated streaming, the eye tracking, like the only other like I guess you would call it like relatively budget headset that has eye tracking is PSVR 2, which has to be enabled like through a workaround. Like you can't do it normally, and that thing is tethered.
It's tethered, and also I haven't even talked about the PSVR VR 2 on here on the channel before, but I did buy one for a little bit period of time this year, like early this year, and maybe it was late last year. Anyways, I didn't enjoy it. It's so big and bulky, and the thing about VR for me is that it needs to be a headset like this, like the Steamframe, something that feels like goggles at worst, glasses at best, that doesn't add to my face, it does not seclude me from my family, isolate me. Unless I want that experience, then let's go. But it was a heavy headset. It never quite worked right for me, and it was just a little awkward feeling. Where something like this, this is what
I like that they're thinking about the counterbalance on the head, and thinking about that comfort out of the box. Because the biggest problem with the Quest was it kept getting lighter and lighter and all that, but out of the box that is not very comfortable. The strap that's included will start to sag, and
that stock strap is horrible.
It's junk. It's junk, and I'm like, I wish they kind of packaged it better out of the box where people had that comfort from the start, because the comfort matters with this kind of stuff. When you're wearing a headset on your face for so many hours, it wears on you. Yeah,
absolutely. And it sucks because like the good like aftermarket ones, they might run you like $100 or $150, and that's like a big chunk of change when you've already put that much money into the headset.
Yeah, I feel like the Quest 3 was kind of like also like the last hurrah for this segment, I think, too. Hey, look, it's Aish.
Nice.
You typed in zoo reviews and Aish came up.
That's amazing.
That is.
Wow, Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Oh,
this is in your yard? Like this is so this is so cool. Yeah, that you can do this.
Can I move in right there? Can I move in your shed?
Okay. Yeah, I'll get you a shed or something.
I mean, I will say about like the whole like Vision Pro type of look. I think a lot of people, whether they liked VR or not, they thought the how they had like those like the digital version of you like with the face on the outside of the Vision Pro. Like people thought it was kind of weird, right? But like to be fair to Apple, and I'm usually not fair to Apple. I mean, to be fair, I can see why they made that decision though. Exactly with that social aspect you were talking about. Like they were trying to bridge the barrier, and I don't think they hit it. But
VR chat was kind of like the same idea, the social aspect of it,
right?
Which did very well.
Yeah, and VR chat, like a big thing in that is not only like the body trackers, but like the facial trackers, so that people could see what your reactions are, right? So yeah, I think there is something to it there that maybe even the manufacturers and developers haven't fully figured out yet.
Like I'm watching a Russ video there. It's a Loki video, man. Now we know we're going way back.
Yeah, guys. I mean,
that's crazy. Wow.
So it's crazy. So VR isn't dead yet.
No.
We have one last chance here, and when the technology hits the size of glasses, or you can do the whole VR experience in that size, I think that'll have a huge resurgence if we fail this round anyways. I mean,
and we're getting there. It feels like we're getting closer and closer to that convergence of being able to do what the Quest 3 does, but in just a pair of glasses. We're so close. I could feel it. And I think that's when it's going to become even more mainstream there.
Yeah, and the one like Clef was talking about, the Inmo 3, I think it was, with the Snapdragon chip in there.
Yep. Yeah, that's a big deal.
Early idea for this, kind of Steamframe-ish in that realm, but I think Valve is just like the Steam Deck. They brought it. I mean, they served it up, and they are the standard now for x86 handheld emulation to beat, right? Like they are the ones. Sure, we got more power now with Asus and everybody, but Valve sets the example, and I think they can do it again here. And I'm excited to play all of our retro games. And
I believe you're totally right about that, Stubbs. Because there's something that I've said before, and on Handhelds United Discord, I think probably on the Speedcast podcast too, is that some people are looking at the specs, especially if they're like VR enthusiasts, and they think, oh, this has like LCD panels in it, and they wanted the OLEDs, and yeah, that's kind of disappointing. Maybe it's not as high resolution as like a Pimax headset, which they wanted. But the thing is if this thing is successful, there's no reason why we couldn't see a Steamframe Pro or like a Steamframe OLED, the same that we saw like with Steam Deck OLED, and it has that like USB, if I remember correctly, it's like a PCIe or like USB like port at the bottom.
Yeah.
Which I was mentioning, those grayscale cameras, they could have an attachment that plugs in there to become like an RGB camera, and then you have the color pass through too. Like these things are possible, right? But or like you could plug in like a facial like a facial tracker or something like that for VR chat. Like these things are possible, but like it's just unfortunate that like a kind of experimental kind of early adopter phase, like we have to like buy into that system for them probably to realistically support that.
And then they got this controller too, which I've been seeing a lot of hype around lately. And I heard they're holding back release of the controller because they want to ship it with the Steamframe or with the Steam machine.
It's with the Steam machine. Yep,
with the Steam machine.
So apparently these are already made and manufactured, but they want to sell it alongside the Steam machine because that makes a lot of sense. And right now the Steam machine's kind of holding that up, I guess.
That makes sense to me. And I think the Steam machine might actually realistically be holding back the Steamframe too, because the Steamframe with that HN3 is not going to be powerful enough to run Half-Life Alyx, or like Hitman.
Unless
VR.
There's some magic that Valve is doing, kind of like what they did with Steam Deck, that
Fair.
somehow. Fair. I mean, that'd be amazing. I would love to see that.
Fair. I personally wouldn't hold my breath for that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
At the same time, a system that I think we can all be very confident in working is if they streamed, Half-Life Alyx or those other VR games from the Steam machine to the Steamframe, right? So, when they have this kind of 1-2 combo, I'm sure that will really be more likely to convince people.
Yeah, I'm so bummed about this. I mean, that it looks so cool.
Yeah.
I feel like as time goes on, the hype for it is starting to kind of go away, Yeah,
it does seem that way. Yeah.
Half-Life Alyx is so good. I just got to say as well, it's my favorite VR game.
And it's such a shame because it's like, it's old, like,
it is.
And it's still like the gold standard. Like we need more,
It's
like,
so good.
Yeah.
They just released something awesome and just walk away. And we thought we were getting Half-Life 3. And you know what? To me, it's almost as good as Half-Life 3. It's a little different, but we're going to get, I feel like they're going to bring that at some point. The rumors are they're going to release it with the Steam machine on day one, but we'll see. They've been saying all kinds of things.
Yeah,
maybe Half-Life 2 VR mod. I mean, that's pretty good too.
I like that too.
Look as great. Yeah.
No, it's just I still haven't beaten this game, by the way. It gets pretty tough as you go along. But
I had to start over a bunch of times because I got a little trigger happy. That's just code for skill issue.
Yeah, you and I were talking the other day, man, about how we don't have a lot of patience for RPGs these days because we just don't have the time. And so like we'll default to those action games, those quick twitch shooting games that it's just we get a few minutes of entertainment and then we can kind of move on.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. I saw the other day a video popped on my feed on YouTube. It was like some like boss challenge for Final Fantasy VII Remake, like playing as Tifa and taking no damage. I'm like, this is cool. I'm never gonna do this. Like this is impossible for me.
Like was this Tifa in beast mode?
Basically, yeah. Just some absolute craziness.
I got to play this one too. I still haven't played I haven't finished the remake anyways, but it looks good. Man, yeah, absolutely right. And so that's why VR experiences are really nice. They're short. They're intended to be short. The companies know you're not going to keep that headset on for that long. So they build it around that short experience. And that is like what makes it really cool. And so I hope we get more. I hope it doesn't fail. And you guys are totally inspiring me right now to go get my index on and play after this session.
I know. I'm kind of like wanting to check out what's going on in VR land.
You know what too, Stubbs? You were saying this is a great time too. You're talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake. Have you heard of UEVR? Do you know?
No.
Have you heard of? So UEVR is Unreal Engine VR mod.
Oh, okay.
So it's made by one guy, as far as I know, Prey Dog. This is an absolute mad lad. So Rob, you've tried it?
No, I'm listening to you. I'm like, this sounds amazing.
It's insane. So like basically with this one mod, you can inject it into any Unreal Engine. I think it's mostly 5, but I think it'll work on some Unreal Engine 4 games too. And it might require some like mapping and stuff like that, but it'll basically turn any of these, regular flat games, we'll call them, into like a VR experience. So it's, Beardo Benjo has a ton of these videos. So like Beardo Benjo, he does this one where he does like Hogwarts Legacy, and people have like remapped the mod so that you load up Hogwarts Legacy while you're wearing your Quest headset. You inject the UEVR mod, you load up the profile that someone has made, and now you're playing Hogwarts Legacy completely in VR. Like, it has motion track controls and everything too. Like, it's absolutely insane. There's I think there's like hundreds, if not like thousands maybe, of games that kind of just like work out of the box.
What?
You know, yeah, like the easiest experience will be like, you'll be seeing it in VR, so it's delivered to your eyes like stereoscopically, and you know, you grab a controller and you play using a controller. But if you want like that, you know, let's call it the true VR experience with the motion controls, then like, you know, there's fewer games that support that. But the community has like really rallied around this thing, and they've made it so that you're playing so many of these games that are completely not intended, or they were not built for VR, but you can play them in VR. You know, like, so Final Fantasy VII Remake is one of those games, for example, where you're
amazing,
where you're like in a VR environment. You know, like yeah. So like, it's really cool. It is so cool. It is
you're
so cool.
Hogwarts.
Yeah, like that's amazing.
It is. It is so cool. Yeah. Of course, like I was a crazy person and tried to do this like on a handheld, which is a bad thing. Don't do that. But,
what handheld?
But, you know,
what handheld?
It was the OneXPlayer. It was the OneXPlayer F1 Pro. Yeah, with the HX370. I mean, it kind of worked. I mean, you definitely need like a dedicated GPU for it. It's pretty power hungry. But you know, like, it's cool that you could do that.
Wait a minute. So I can go get my Quest 3 out of storage, out of my living room.
Yeah,
and go hook
your
this
living
up
room
to
is your storage.
My PC.
Yeah,
pretty much. but I can go get it out of there, and I can do this today, like with a beefy high-end PC, right?
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah,
and I'd like the little tether cable, or do I Wi-Fi stream?
No, you don't need it. You could just Steam Link in or use virtual desktop. Yeah, you're tetherless, so you don't need. Yeah, because in the video he's doing it. He looks like he has a cable there, but I'm pretty sure he uses like a virtual desktop.
I was like, don't threaten me with a good time, GG. Like, let's not.
No, it is so awesome. I mean, just like Rob said, I mean, talking to you guys.
I mean, just seeing Hogwarts, I'm like, this is really cool.
No, it's like, I'm just imagining it's the closest thing to like, short of being in Universal Studios, this is probably like the closest experience.
How long does it take to set this up? Now, hold on a second.
I mean,
also,
now,
will I
like
throw
5
up everywhere
minutes
from this?
That I don't know. I mean, are you prone to motion sickness?
It just depends. It depends. It depends what it is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, most of those games, I feel like, as long as they're not like moving too fast, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, this idiot's guide is only 26 minutes, and I'm one of the biggest ones that I know. So like, I can definitely. I can understand this. It's easy. He says it's easy.
It's much easier now. There's even like Jedi. What is it? Jedi Survivor. You can do it too, and they have motion controls for your lightsaber too. I haven't tried that one, but it's just absolutely insane.
Suddenly, Stuff and I are doing the next podcast with headsets on.
Yeah. Type in Jedi Survivor UEVR. You know, like it's insane. Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry to derail this. Recording.
No, this is us getting all the good stuff.
Yeah, we can podcast about like everything else later. Let's just explore together. You want to come on a journey, everybody? Look at this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's Beardo Benjo's intro too. You want to come on a journey like
Beardo Benjo, if you see this get flagged for copyright, for one, don't strike us, please. But big all of a sudden big fan. But let's come on the channel. Can we talk about this?
We have beards. We have beards too.
Yeah.
I like Benjo.
Yes. He's awesome. He does so many of these videos. He does unfortunately the Cyberpunk one has been pulled, but he did Cyberpunk before, but
he is the cyberpunk. Look at him.
Yeah. No, I think one of the first videos I saw of his was like the cyberpunk mod. So the cyberpunk one, it's not publicly available anymore because the developer pulled it. But like I'm sure if you look around, you could probably find it. But like the cyberpunk one is a little bit different because that one you're looking at the virtual environment, but like you're using a controller or a keyboard mouse, you know, so it's not like as immersive as like that Star Wars, Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor are, but like, it's still a great experience, honestly. Like if you want to try something different.
Look how real these steaks look.
I'm suddenly very hungry for some steaks.
Look at those. Where'd Benjo go?
I think you're watching what they call an ad.
No, this is where'd I go?
It's
I don't know
AI
where you went. Where are you?
I've pivoted to meat. The whole
AI generated.
It's all meat.
Yeah, British
Wow, this is actually not an ad.
Well, how did I get here? Jolly, I don't know. This is what happens on YouTube. Now I want to talk about meat.
Now all you're gonna get are food videos.
I guess Jolly was the one that really derailed this conversation.
Dang it, Jolly. Come on the podcast. Let's do a collab. I want to get some ribs going while we do our VR headsetting.
That sounds delicious.
All right. Well, we do want to ask you more about, your journey, your channel.
Absolutely.
Kind of just real quick. What were your channel origins? How did you get started in this? What got you going in this whole content creation space? You've always been a gamer. And
I have been. I grew up playing like most people in the community, playing like a Nintendo, Super Nintendo. I was really fortunate to have access to most of the mainstream consoles that were out there. Either my parents worked super long hours so that I could get them, or I knew somebody and I would go to their house and play them.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I spent a lot of time playing them. Most of the time Stubbs and I have talked in DMs. I spent a lot of time playing RPGs. I was avid fighting game player. I played every single one of the Street Fighters, Mortal Kombat. Those were the things that a lot of my friends were into. So I played those. I was usually the one that gets beat up, but it was a fun time. And I think it was I was always just a gamer. I never wanted, or I never had any intention to make any videos or anything like that until I think a lot of people out there in the community, especially those that have their own YouTube channel, until the Steam Deck. After I got a Steam Deck, I was building PCs and stuff like that, and I play most of my stuff on desktop. But the Steam Deck really kind of unlocked this other door. And I mean, you guys are dads. I think it's probably the same experience that you had, whereby you don't have the time to sit at your desk, or the moment you do, someone is raising hell right around the corner. So you can't. I mean, sit there.
You totally have not heard my dogs barking randomly in the background. Not at all.
No, those are AI generated dogs.
Yeah.
And those
are sound bites that Sony puts in.
You've never heard my dad jokes, Gigi. What lies on the ocean floor?
They're not yours. It's coming out of a book.
What lies on the ocean floor twitching uncontrollably, Rob?
I see you reading it.
No, you don't. A nervous wreck.
Oh,
I'm going to get you a better book at least. Jeez.
Can you get him the one from The Last of Us? That's a pretty good one.
That's hilarious.
So it was Steam Deck and, the what is it? The sleep and the resume function that really helped me to actually beat, I don't know, 2 games or something like that. And then the backlog just started building up again. But I made a video on Steam Deck, and then at that same time, I happened to get the first version of the XR glasses that I know of anyway. They were called the Nreal Airs at that time.
Oh, I remember.
Branded. And I think at the time, right before or right after I made my first video, I went on a cruise with my family, and that was my experience, using Steam Deck with those. And I was just wow, this is amazing. I want everybody to have this experience. This is just wild. I never had this kind of experience before. And me being a self-proclaimed display snob, I love yeah, exactly. I mean, I love QD OLED displays. I love mini LED displays. I have I have a projector out in my living room, which I do not wish to disclose how much I paid for it to my wife. But it's, these are all I love these things, and that's kind of really where I started. I wanted people to see these things. Unfortunately, as you guys know, and I think the people that have seen some of these videos and not experienced themselves, it's not really the same. You could try your best to capture it, but it's
correct.
It's just like VR, and one of the bad analogies I like to say is that it's kind of like a roller coaster. You can watch the first person views of riding on a roller coaster. Your best friend can describe riding a roller coaster to you, but it's not the same as actually being on the roller coaster. You're
2 OLED displays on these type of gadgets.
Yeah.
How are you playing 2 games at the same time, Stubb?
That's what you can do on the AYN Thor. Get one now. But no, I get it. The OLED screens is the next big thing, and they're coming across all these handhelds now.
Yeah.
And you're right.
Which I think people are going a little too crazy with that. I mean, there are some people who will not buy a handheld if it doesn't have an OLED panel. And I'm like, there are good panels out there that may not be OLED, so don't let that be the only reason why you may not buy something, because I mean, there are other technologies that are actually just as good, but I get it. Everyone loves OLED. I mean, I like it too. So maybe I'm at fault too.
Well, if you have the option,
for sure.
You're going to pay $50 more, get the OLED or not, or whatever.
Well, the thing is also some people have the sensitivity. If a panel is not correct, the OLED panel, so they have the sensitivity to the PWM, and I'm like, that's definitely an issue there. So some people actually prefer having an LCD panel. So
it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's fair.
I prefer having GG.
But I am a projector snob too, though. I've been doing projectors as like my main television, probably close to a decade now. I mean, it's the only way to watch TV and movies in my opinion.
Yeah, so I mean, like once you've had a good one, like it's hard to even go to a theater.
No, I don't go to movies at all.
You don't need to.
No, I mean, like, are you gonna go and drive? I don't know, 20 minutes to a theater. Line up, pay for some overpriced popcorn, sit down in the theater. Listen to kids whining about not wanting to be there and actually wanting to watch their brain rot or whatever, and then at the end of the night. Like you paid
just spent like $100.
Yeah, $100.
Freaking movie for your family, and it's like, what happened here?
And it was a terrible time. Like so like exactly. Yeah, I'm right there.
I think I go to the movie theater maybe once a year. It's been a while since I've been to a movie theater. I can't even remember the last time I went. So the movie clearly wasn't that good, or it's been very long. So I don't know. Yeah. Projectors are the way to go. If anyone's watching this, look into it. You get a massive screen, and honestly, a lot of times for less money than what it would cost to do a television. And TVs don't go, 150 inches. So if you have the space, if you have the wall space for it, consider it. Trust me, it's awesome.
Yeah, you got them big walls. You know you're going to need that screen.
I remember I probably told this story at some point here on the channel before, but I bought my house. I bought at the time, a 75-inch TV, which I thought was huge. I was so excited. I put it in the living room, and I'm like, this thing looks so tiny against this massive giant wall because my house has a vaulted ceiling. So I have this big giant wall, and I'm like, well, it's going to be a projector now. So that's pretty much how it's been. So almost close to a decade now that I've been doing projectors.
Wow, Stubbs is right. Can we move in with you?
See,
this sounds like a great time.
And the funny thing is,
huge backyard.
They don't even realize how cool this is. And I'm like, what the heck? I don't understand this. I would have killed for this stuff when I was a kid. I don't get it. What's going on here?
I know. Now you got these kids who got their fancy Switch 2s and stuff. They're like,
they want to just watch movies on their phone, and I'm like, hello?
Yeah, exactly.
The kids these days.
Kids these days. Are we old now? Are we the ones now saying kids these days and not understanding the younger generation?
We're not old. Do you see these fun accessories we keep around for our Switch 2 at least?
Are those your sprinkles for the ice cream?
These are my sprinkles. These are my sprinkle creams. These are my Savage Ravens. They're savagely colorful.
They're nice.
Anyways,
they're nice.
I'm sorry. I'm derailing us back.
No, I like that. They're nice. I mean, I'd like to think that I'm not old, but at the same time, I do have a young daughter, and she had said to me, she says this to me every once in a while. She says, so Daddy, in the olden days, you couldn't watch YouTube, and I'm like, in the olden days, like, how old do you think I am? And I'm like, okay, well, yes. When I was a kid, they didn't have YouTube. You couldn't just call people whenever you wanted to. And she's like, yeah, that sounds like ancient history. I'm like, okay. Yeah, okay.
Whatever. We were there when YouTube started. We were there from the beginning when it was just music videos and really odd videos people made in their basements and whatever.
Yeah. Some guy just randomly shaving himself in the mirror. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the 80s were 45 years ago.
I'm not 45 years old, Stubbs. So
you had to remind us, Stubbs.
Just in context, just to put in context, 19. If you were born in 1900, right now I would be in 1941. I would be storming the beaches right about now.
No, the worst is when you see those reels and it says if you were born and it starts with the year number 19, and it's like, I'm like, we're not that old. Come on.
Yeah. they're showing like a headstone or something. You're like, oh my god! You're like, really? That's a little too far. Like,
we've already gotten through the flapper era. We went through the Great Depression. We even had our own depression.
We didn't go through any of this. We're not that old.
We did. 2008, we got the depression.
We got a different depression. Yeah.
Now we have a new depression. We have the new depression. Depression 2.0.
Yeah.
AI generated depression. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. I want to see how much a micro SD card would cost me at 1 terabyte, and it was like twice what I paid 6 months ago, and I wanted to cry. And I said, okay, well, I'm not buying one of these now.
You don't need it.
No, I'm just gonna survive with what I got. It's cool.
We'll be all right.
It's completely out of control. But in that context of being old or feeling old, every once in a while, I don't know if you guys had shared this sentiment too, but I mentioned, growing up with like Street Fighter and like RPGs like Final Fantasy and stuff. I see because it's happening right around this time. I see it's like 30th anniversary, and it's like, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, that game came out there. Like, I swear I was just like, I don't know, in grade school at that time. Like, oh my god, like, and you're like, yeah. It's something.
There was
at the same time
25th anniversary, and I'm trying to think what it was, but it really hit me hard. I was like, no, we couldn't. You can't. 25 years. I'm like, right. Oh man.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, 25 years. Like, to Stubbs' point, I mean, that still starts with a 20. Like, that's
it's still a long time ago.
Yeah. No,
that's
kidding.
the crazy thing about it. Yeah.
And it always feels like, maybe it's getting older thing, but it always feels like time is literally speeding up, and this year has been the shortest year so far.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost in March.
We have all these newfangled gadgets and stuff, and things just take. It's like you have less time, right? Mm-hmm. It's like these things are supposed to help, speed up your productivity. AI generates you some emails or whatever, and you're like, wait, this is taking more time. You're like, why? Like, why am I doing this to myself? But like,
you're spending all your time, correcting your prompts and trying to get all the dials right. I've been messing around making a like this little RPG with Claude just for fun, messing around.
Ooh.
Learning about kind of coding as well, because you can look behind the eyes of the AI and see like what the code is doing. You're like, oh, so that's how that variable goes in here. And it's a cool tool to be used as an assistant tool. To make a full game with it, no.
I still feel like at the end of the day, like you said, it's a good assistant, like a good tool to maybe speed up the process or to help give you ideas. But you still need to sort of know the language. Like you said, you're going behind the scenes and looking at the code. If you actually are a programmer, you could probably look at the code and say, okay, that's where there's a mistake and I can fix it, So I think from like a point of view of expediting it, it's awesome. But I still think, you got to know your thing. You got to know something to, so yeah.
It is kind of is what it is there. Okay, Gigi. So you kind of explained a bit about your origin, like kind of what happened next. What was next on your journey?
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say real quick though. Yeah. So when do we get an episode of Stubbs stuff, which is like vibe coding, like vibe? Like
I just heard this term.
Vibe coding stuff.
I just heard this term. So I guess that's what I was doing because I just like, no, can you make the enemies a little more hexen-like, and you're trying to scale this pyramid and you're getting these things. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, there's bugs everywhere. There's glitches and bugs. And I'm like, could you fix the bugs? And it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, it's perfect. No. There's a bug here. Like,
it's a feature.
And then it like crashes in the middle. And it's like, oh, you ran out of credits for today. Check back tomorrow. I go back tomorrow. And it's like, can you continue the game? It's like, what game? The game you made? It's like you used your character limit, your length limit of the chat.
Yeah.
Well, can I import direct? Can you call on your last version of yourself, the last chat? No, we can't do that. You can copy paste everything over here. Oh,
yeah, they want you to,
again
to buy the plan.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm terrible. I'm not a developer. I'm not a AI developer either. But
they're the dealers that the first couple hits are free.
Yeah, they get you hooked on that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how ChatGPT got me in the early days. I got hooked on making memes of everybody in RH.
What do you mean used to? Early? What do you mean early days? You mean yesterday? You mean like probably 2 hours ago? I mean, let's
to me
like
that's the best use case for AI.
Isn't it though? Yeah. 100%.
The only downside.
I'm sorry, everyone. This is why RAM's so expensive. This is my fault.
The data centers and the fish and the well water. It's all a mess, but at least you do get these funny memes, and you do get to vibe code a game which has many
That
iterations.
barely
Many of
works.
them are many of the iterations are just cursed. The most cursed graphics you've ever seen. You can beat this game, supposedly. I can't beat it. It's too hard. I told it to make the game easier for me to play, but it would not.
It's amazing.
So,
Anyways, that is incredible.
stop
yeah.
talking about me. This is your show.
What was I saying? I've completely lost my memory now.
Well, you were just kind of talking about. We were just asking about like your.
Oh yes.
Who would you say you are here? Where did you get here? Oh, that whole thing.
I honestly have no idea how I got here. Where am I right now? So after I did like the Steam Deck and XR glasses video, I did a whole bunch of mistakes, including the news videos that Rob apparently like was the only person that watched. And I tried to do like a bunch of other like handheld, like one-off handheld reviews. Like I've like I think if someone looked at Handhelds United or looked at like my channel now, they would think that I pretty much only exclusively cover like XR stuff or dabble in some VR and mostly do like x86 like Windows like and
Right.
SteamOS Bazite handhelds. But like I'm watching you guys and kind of lurking in the shadows too. Like I've done some like retro handheld reviews too. Like I love retro devices as well. It's just my audience didn't really like seem to attach to those, or like when they did, I made the mistake of only making one video on that and then like never following up again on it.
You know what? That's totally a learning thing too. I mean, even I have learned to like figure out what the audience likes, what they don't like. I mean, for sure. Like I think we all go through this journey where we have to figure out what works best for us.
Yeah, and like I think one of the I can't remember which was the last one that I did, but like one of the ones that I did was like I did the Trim UI Smart Pro. And then like it performed fairly decently on my channel, and I actually like that thing, even though I know that device is kind of divisive for the sticks in particular. But like there were people who were like, oh, well, did you know like CrossMix is like, like stolen. It's supposed to be open source. I'm like, oh, I have no idea about this. Like I was just reviewing this thing. I'm like, am I supposed to not talk about this anymore? And, and I don't know. It just I didn't know what to do from there. So I just decided to kind of follow along with stuff that I was more interested in. And sometimes that worked out. Sometimes that didn't work out. So I guess if there's any kind of advice I can give to people that are wanting to do like, content, it's like, choose a lane and then, stick to your guns. And if it's not something that you're really interested in, maybe, just like think about what it is that you're really interested in. Because otherwise you're doing yourself no favors and you're doing the community no favors either, because people will see that, right? Yep. Like they will see that you're lacking passion in that.
Correct.
And, they won't be interested.
Yeah.
So,
You
I think it
find
helps you
ways.
build an audience. People will feel that and resonate with you when they can tell you're passionate about something. It comes across very differently.
Yeah. So I guess that kind of like brings me to where I am now. Like I'm trying to focus more on like XR glasses, XR devices, while still covering some handheld devices, particularly like x86 devices.
Saw that.
And like eGPUs, because I love desktops, and eGPUs are kind of my thing too. So that goes with it. I swear it was like a month ago. Every month or so I get a comment on my ROG Ally eGPU video, because
That's awesome.
that's the only one. The guy made a comment and said like, this is the only video on YouTube that has this doing VR. Why is this the only? I'm like, well, because no one is insane enough to do this, because like no sane person would try this, like it's not a good idea. That's why, but yeah,
it's like
every month there's like a comment on that. But yeah, like I like doing that stuff.
What's funny is like the ROG Ally, like that's one of my best performing videos on my channel too. I don't know what it is with that device, but it definitely had legs. Like people come back years later and they're still looking up things, and I'm like, wow, it's really. I'm happy that the videos are still useful for people. It's just I didn't expect it at the time. If I had known, maybe I would have really went hard on just Ally stuff, But
right. Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, it's that video right there, XG, or like one of those videos,
where you do VR with it.
Yeah, VR with the XG mobile
VR games.
See, that's cool. Yeah. You got to combine two different passions. You really like eGPUs and you like the x86 handhelds, and you got to do both in the same video. So that's awesome.
It's just some like silly things like this, but because I do like to do the eGPU stuff, and it's
that.
Well, that was the Hogwarts Legacy right there. That was
it doesn't look horrible. I mean, it can still pull this off, but
yeah,
it's
still cool though. It's still cool. Really cool. The fact that it can be done, right? Like that's the whole thing with it.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're doing Half-Life Alyx. Yeah. And the Forest. My wife and I love the Forest. This is such a good game.
Forest is a fun game.
She gets really sick easy in VR.
I don't want to derail the conversation any more than I already have, but I think it was in this video when I was making this video. So I was playing this with my buddy, and we had such a good time fighting like the cannibals that we made like effigies like around the whole island, and there were so many of them that it started like slowing down the game, and you it was like 12 FPS. You're like, what is even going on here? But it was because there are too many just effigies, like burning effigies everywhere, and it was like, okay, I don't think they meant for us to do this.
The game always so freaky too with the cannibals that just start running at you, and you're trying to build your little base up in the trees, and
basically that's kind of where I am now, and I think I answered the question. It only took 50 minutes to answer the question.
You're good. It was a good answer to the question.
I blame Stubbs. It's his fault. He keeps derailing us.
It is my fault. I want to talk about something very, very important around here that we ask every guest, and it's time for that for you. Adore, keep, delete. Have you heard of this before? Have you seen
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
So throw them at us. So one you adore for a night, one you keep for a lifetime, one you delete because you don't like it.
Okay, so I think I thought about this, and so I'm just dragging it out now. The adore part, I think it has to be a Legion Go 2. I mean, I have a lot of Legion Go content on my channel, but I just can't justify that price for like what it is.
Correct.
I haven't. And like in my circles, I'm known as like a Legion Go shill, and that's because I love like the Legion Go 1, and like I've done like those VR videos and stuff like that using the Legion Go as well. Like, but the Legion Go 2 is just too much more money for like what it is. I'm sure that OLED display is amazing, but it's like you're getting maximum 20% more performance. I can't justify it. So that would be one that I would keep for the night. And then it would just have to go back to Best Buy.
I did the same adore situation as you with my Lego 2 twice.
Yeah. The Go Cons, I guess, though, are a huge improvement. Those are like night and day, though. Yeah, those are.
You got those on your original now?
Yeah. Well, I have it right here. So like I feel like I'll derail this conversation. So I will answer this question first. So keep, I think it has to be this, because this I have on loan here.
The Apex.
So this is the Apex. Yes, this is the Apex. This is the air-cooled Apex.
Nice.
They'll have to pry it from my VR-ridden hands. That one would probably be the one I keep, because it's serious.
You must keep it. Just if you keep making content with it, how can they ask for it back?
Oh no, it's like part of it's part of this like agreement that we have with like Handhelds United. So I have to send it to like the next Handhelds United.
I know that's
unless
my clause.
Unless you eliminate the other members.
Yeah, just like what were you doing in the forest? I mean, they're all kind of like cannibals coming after your handhelds. Like, I want to review it, and you're like, no.
Exactly. And the one that I would delete. You know what? I think like I have it back there on the shelf somewhere. I don't want to reach back because the camera is going to follow me. But it's the only reason why I still have it. First of all, is because it's like the sunken cost fallacy. Like you paid the money for it, so you're like, eventually, like I'll do something with it or whatever. Yeah. But it's the PS Portal we have at home, the SJGAM M25.
Oh,
it's
Rob.
That's Stubbs' favorite.
Wait, Rob, can you say your famous line?
Oh no. That is Stubbs' favorite handheld right there.
Not like this.
Not like this. Not like this.
What? You mean it's not the Data Frog? What do you mean?
You've seen Data Frog coverage from us?
Of course. SF2000, of course.
You just went OG.
Yeah,
what was that? 3 years ago?
No, of course.
That was
out
like
to
my second
Steamfrog.
episode on the podcast. That was like my
I
second
told you, I've been a
episode.
long time follower. I was just making that up.
Oh,
That's crazy.
I'm gonna blush now. Okay, all right. Hey. Those are good answers. Great answers. No, the SJ Gam situation
Should be deleted. Yes.
Should be deleted. It's for the best.
100%.
It's kind of like the Clydesdale, like, oh, time to go behind the barn. And it's a tough situation to deal with, but here we are. All right, thank you very much for your answer. I really appreciate that. Let me put you on the spot with another one. Just what are your favorite couple of handhelds you're using day to day right now?
Well, I mean, since I'm testing that Apex, I mean, I looked at it and I thought, well, you know what? I don't need it, but I totally get all the hype behind it. I mean, you know, my friends and colleagues, Nelly and Trevor, Gaming Repairs and OKS Gamer, they're basically bullying people into buying this thing. And before having my hands on it, I was just thinking like, what are you guys doing? Like, you can't do that to people. Now I'm like, you know what? I kind of get it. Yeah, you have to push it to the limit. Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I get it.
It is what it is.
The thing is, the Apex in theory could be someone's one and done for x86.
And that's exactly it, right? So I mean, like, you don't have to have the, you know, like, we make content, we make videos. So in some way you could do some mental gymnastics and argue that you need these handhelds to do something, right? But yeah, for like the average, for the regular person who isn't going to make all the content, and actually even if they wanted to make that jump and do content, they could do so much with that one device, right? So I kind of get it, you know, like even being like a desktop PC enthusiast and like, you know, knowing what, let's call it, ultimate power really looks like. I get it. I get the appeal of, being able to turn this thing all the way down to, you know, play your Game Boy emulator and then turn it all the way up to you know, play, you know, Cyberpunk at 1440p. Like I totally get that. Right.
I feel like it'd be wrong to play Game Boy on a 395 chip in general. Just
Nelly was going nuts on the Apex too. I know when she was on our episode here earlier. She loves it, and I know Trevor as well. Yeah,
absolutely. But besides that, I mean, I daily drive this. This is the OneXPlayer X1 Air. So this is you know, admittedly, this thing has its faults. Like the controllers aren't the greatest. You know, but at the same time, like it does more of like what I want, which is kind of like a laptop first and then like a handheld second. So it's, you know, it's kind of like one of those things where you have to choose like what you want more.
Correct.
And that's where like this thing I think is it's made a lot of improvements since like the first version of like the OneXPlayer, like, you know, 3-in-1 or whatever type convertible thing, because I've been vocal before about like a OneXPlayer 2, for example. Like the keyboard on that thing was like horrible. And, you know, like the OneXPlayer G1, that keyboard is also not good. But like this one is...
You and I had the same criticism about the keyboard, because I think it was the original X1 when it first came out. And same thing. I'm like, you know, I'm comparing to like a Surface keyboard, and it's like, they need to copy that. That's a good keyboard on that kind of form factor. And I'm like... Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I have very much similar criticisms of that. That
thing had the flappy keyboard or whatever, and then like it would just like flop around everywhere.
I had that one.
Yeah,
for
and
about a month.
The most annoying thing, which I'm so thankful that they fixed this, was they had this thing where in order to hit apostrophe and quotations, you had to hit like function and P or something like that.
That's crazy.
Oh man,
it was horrible. Yeah, like maybe, you know, I don't know, if you type in a different language, maybe that doesn't bother you, but like for English typers, that's horrible, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think GPD had the same problem, because I remember Carrie telling me, like, when they went from the Pocket 3 to the 4, they redid the whole keyboard, and the new keyboard is so much better because the layout makes sense, the spacing, they spent a lot more time like making it more functional. Before it was just like, who's going to be able to type on this? Regardless of the size of it, it just... the way the keys are set up and everything's set up doesn't make any sense. So it's good that they're improving on that. Yeah, right. And then I guess the other device that I'm actually using, I'm still using my Legion Go, mostly because I put Bazite on it. And I guess I'll derail the conversation a little bit here. I'm working on this mod here. So I have this mod. This is the original GoCon. So I 3D printed this like housing for this.
and eventually the video for this will be released. It makes it so that you can actually wirelessly transmit the signal from like your handheld to like this box, and then you can connect you can connect a USB-C DisplayPort alt capable cable out to XR glasses or like a monitor if you wanted to.
Oh, that's nice.
So I mean, it does have some like limitations, like you can only do like 1080p 60, but you know, it's not dependent on Wi-Fi. So there's that, I guess.
That is really cool.
So wow. Yeah, this is like the kind of like little pet project that I'm doing with the Legion Go. And if I can actually line up the rails here. Yeah, so here it is with like the Legion Go 2 controller. So it'll work with both. And yeah, so I basically
I need this.
So basically the idea is, you know, you would dock your Legion Go, and if you wanted the next level of performance, you would dock the Legion Go with an eGPU. Then you would connect this transmitter to that eGPU, and then you would inside of this thing is a receiver with a battery, and then you can plug in your XR glasses, and you know, you can have a good old time playing your Game Boy or whatever you want to play.
Yeah, I think that that's an excellent use case too, and I like that they have the controllers available as well. You can just buy those. Like, there was a sale recently, $35, I think, for one.
Oh, yeah, that's how I got them.
That's when I bought them too. Yeah, I'm doing a project with them as well for an upcoming video, and I'm like, I had to buy them. The whole set was, what is it, like under $100, right?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was so cheap.
I got them for under 100 with the connector too. Yeah. So
yep, I have the connector as well. Yep.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, I'm working on something with it as well. They're definitely a big improvement over the originals, because I was originally using the originals and I'm like, oh yeah, this feels so much better. Yeah.
What about off the beaten path? You know, like Android. If you were to have one Android handheld, what might that be?
I'm gonna quote my friend Zach. Don't you guys have phones?
Yeah.
I mean, because I have
telescopic.
Yeah. Well, I did this insane thing, which eventually I'll release a short for too. Which, it's either a telescopic or like a certain game.
Is that the 7-fold?
Yeah, it's a certain GameSir controller, and you can attach it to this, and you know, you can basically have. Obviously, because of the form factor, works best with like old 4x3, 8x7, games, but. You know, you can have some black bars and play like Secret Console on there too if you want. Actually, an Android handheld that I wanted, it has to be the Thor. Everybody talks so much about the Thor; it's amazing. Just outside looking in, I would love to have it.
Yeah, playing two games at once. You could become like Stubbs and play 2 games at once.
Well, not good at 2 games at once, but you could.
You could argue you're not good at one game.
Oh, I would have. I mean, like, I would probably be the person that has like two different types of like brain rot content on the.
Oh yeah, like a video.
I was showing it the other day. I had our own stream on the bottom screen, and then
we were on it.
Your stuff is not brain rot. What are you guys talking about?
Well,
are you sure about that?
Yeah, I mean, like
our off. You know what? I'll give it to us. The offline's a little more dignified. How about that?
I mean, I will bed rot. I will bed rot watching, the pod. But
what is a bed rot?
That's where you're laying in bed and you're just like brain rotting. Yeah.
Okay, so there is that, and there's also all right, guys. This is for all of us. But what games are you guys playing right now? I need to know because I need some new recommends.
Should I be answering?
Yeah. Go ahead, Gigi. Yeah, you're our guest.
People know that I don't really play games, so I'd be lying about the game. I am playing the Cyberpunk 2077 benchmark. I have more hours than that. Like almost triple-digit hours from just benchmark. I think I've only beaten like 3 quests or something.
The best thing ever is the guys will know if I'm working on something benchmark x86 related, because they'll see me start launching up like 3D Mark and Cyberpunk and all the games I use typically to benchmark, and it's like 3D Mark keeps going on screen, and it's like, I feel that. I'm like,
Rob's making a video right now.
But games that I want to actually play, I want to eventually beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth eventually. Excuse me. And Final Fantasy Tactics remake or remaster recently came out. I want to replay that.
Zoo's gonna be very happy to hear that.
Oh, I mean, and like I actually love modding games too. So like I kind of go down rabbit holes with that. You can. Because like Final Fantasy Tactics, anyone who's a big Final Fantasy Tactics person knows that this is like the original re-release. It's not like the PSP War of the Lions re-release. So crazy modders have found ways to like, get that missing content into this like re-release.
That is pretty crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So like, yeah, I love doing that kind of stuff. And usually that ends up taking more time than like I care to admit. And that's why like I don't actually play games. Like if you look at my Skyrim VR playtime, I think it says like 50 hours, but like 45 of those hours were modding the game was probably what it was. but if you mod that game, it's insane. It's so cool. Like you can actually like touch signs and like slap NPCs in the face.
Oh yeah,
it's
there's
so
some
real.
There's
It's too real, actually.
there's some very interesting mods for Skyrim.
Yeah, yeah, and that's just the safe for work ones.
I knew immediately where Stubbs was going. I could tell by the way he said it, the way his face looked. He's been down a different road when it comes to Skyrim.
I've been down. There have been no roads. I've taken no path. There have been no roads.
He's been down Nocturne Alley.
There have been 0 paths taken. I did not have player experiences with that headset. So, okay, very good. Thank you very much. Rob, I know you don't play games either, but let's say you did play one.
Actually, I'm pretty good about that.
You have
I've been playing Eugenics lately.
Yeah,
that's the one I've been playing. Yeah,
saying that, and then also two crude dudes.
No, I can't.
You gave up.
Sorry,
I'm not going to do it.
Sorry, I will not put myself through a crappy game just to earn half a point.
Life's too short. Life's too short.
Exactly. No, I'm not doing that for sure.
If it was like, what if we offered like half a Bitcoin instead of half a point? That now
half a Bitcoin?
Yeah, is that?
Do you know what Bitcoin is worth right now?
yeah, that might be pretty convincing.
I'm like, I'll beat that game every day this week for half Bitcoin.
Well, I said
I'll platinum that game. I have not platinumed a game in forever.
Same.
Well, I fear that you heard me say Bitcoin when I said BIP coin. Bitcoin.
Oh, okay. Well, then the deal's off.
Yeah,
it's not a real coin yet, but I'm using the Claude AI RPG game to build it inside the game as a meta thing, and then it'll create a what do they call that a NFT.
Are you vibe coding cryptocurrency?
Vibe coding
BitBoy coin,
cryptocurrency, BitBoy coining, Arcade 3566 powered. It's going to be all the rage.
Wasn't there actually one like that? Didn't we have a crypto handheld that came out that was like powered by that?
Yeah,
it was called
supposed to
Play OS.
I remember that.
Yeah,
someone in our community bought that. I think I'm trying to remember who though.
Like a $400 Arcade 3566.
Yeah. Wasn't it Fred that got that?
Orange.
Fred. Oh no!
And it mined coins while you were playing retro games through achievements or something like that. But you'd get a coin like after 5 years of constant playing, or there's not enough power there to really do a lot. So it's a very interesting idea.
And then when you try to redeem the coin, it says, congratulations, but your BitBoy coin is in another castle. Is that what it says? Like
pretty much. Like you're never gonna. It's like the endless carrot, and some people like to have an endless carrot that they can never quite catch. So you have something to do. So I guess if you want something to do, you don't want to sit being idle or like getting in touch, with spiritual enlightenment or something, then you could instead do this. And then at the end of the day, you could say, I have done this, and that is something that I did done now. Anyways,
there's a lot of truth to that, because I have learned that there's an issue with Triforce and Dolphin. Basically, if you have retro achievements enabled, you can't apply cheat codes, right? And you need the cheat codes to bypass the boot checks or whatever for the Mario Kart games. And I'm getting so many people having that issue, and I'm like, I see a lot of people are into their retro achievements. I'm like, interesting.
Oh, that sucks though.
Yeah. So you have to pick one or the other. So you have to disable retro achievements, which I mean, it's fine because it's not like the Triforce games have anything in terms of that. So, but it is an issue I figured out along the way, thanks to the community, putting comments in. It's helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's right. And I saw that video. That's an amazing video. I was just thinking, well, you know what? I just heard about this from, Mr. Sujano's news. And then, next day or whatever, oh, Rob has a video. Yes, I knew this was going to happen. Let me just watch this now. So, yeah, The funny thing is
it's because of our own news thing that we did that it inspired me to go check it out myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that does happen.
I was like, oh, cool, that's a thing. And then like the next day I was like, all right, I'm in bed. Let me try this out. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. I'm going to make a video about this. And Just happens.
And Mr. Sujano is the next guest we're recording with.
We almost had a streak of just having Canadians on.
It was almost
only
oops,
Canadians.
All Canadians.
Only all Canadians. Oh, wait. Actually, you might have how many is it now?
Well, we had Nelly start out the season here. We had Clef second. We have Kay third. It's about to launch, and then your episode GG, and then Sujano, and then Tech Dweeb.
Those are all Canadians.
Yeah.
Wait, you are Canadian?
I am Canadian. Yeah.
I mean, he's in Jersey
have
now.
A streak of Canadians.
Yeah, you could call this like the season Canada season or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what you need to do? You need to get a sponsorship from Tim Hortons.
From Team Canada.
Yeah, Canada. There you go. Yeah.
The curling team. Sorry.
Yeah.
I want to know, do they make corn dogs up there too? You guys embrace that?
I mean, they do, but they're probably just from Costco. If
they make poutine dogs.
Oh man, you guys up there doing that? I
mean, you get the honey crullers and the maple donuts and actual poutine. Yeah, that part's true. Yeah, that's true. All you need to do is get one of the Canadian guests to say like, this segment is sponsored by Tim Hortons. Don't you know we? And then they'll be like, wow, that's amazing. Yes, sign us up. We'll send you all free donuts. Go for it.
We need a new code. We need a new code and then a song.
Didn't you try to like will sponsorship into existence once, Stubbs, with Stable Table?
Stable Table, yes. That's taking me back. My wife was just asking me about Stable Table yesterday because she noticed that I had a table. She's like, that table isn't so stable. Like, no. She's like, do you have that stable table? And I was like, I've been mailing it out in people's packages. Everyone gets a little stable table. And now I don't have any left to stable me. And it's been a real concern. And our table fell over. It was not stable. She was right. I have zero stability in my tables.
That's not a good sign.
We eat on the floor now. Speaking of which, if you eat on the floor and you enjoy watching this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. But also check out Mr. Gamer's Generation because we are about ready to wrap up, gentlemen.
Yep.
And kind of let's move on to our crazy evenings, our dad mode evenings. I'm sure we all got some kiddos to get to bed. But what is your next exciting handheld, though, that you're excited for? Just real quick.
This like, not to end this as a downer, I'm not really sure what handheld that I know of that is coming out to be excited about.
What's coming out?
Yeah, I mean it's either outrageously expensive like an Ioneo Next 2 that you probably also can't even take on an airplane. But I mean, if it's something that I think might happen, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Like I wanted like tinfoil hat, or like as I've been saying to my friends, I wear like a tinfoil hazmat suit. So like, I think the X1 Air that I was showing, I think we can get a Panther Lake chip inside of this.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to call this the X1 Ultra. We can get a 358H or a 388H inside of this at 25 to 30 watts. It should outperform even a 395 Strix Halo.
Yep. This is why I'm excited for Panther Lake.
Yeah.
I need Panther Lake in my life.
Absolutely.
I just got to say, thank you all so much again for watching this content. If you do enjoy what you've seen here today, consider liking, comment, subscribing both to our channel at Gamers-Generation, at Gamers-Generation on YouTube. We also have Rob, the Retro Tech Dad, at Retro Tech Dad on YouTube, and all of those other things. We do also have these crazy subscriptions if you're interested. $3, $5, $10 supports what we're doing here. We do appreciate that. And thank you once again to our channel members, our patrons, and our subs to make everything possible for us. Perks with RH start for as little, as I said, only $3 per month. So join us in our Discord and come hang out, play some games with us. We got Game of the Month going on right now, and Game of the Week, Game of the Quarter, Game of the Year, Game of the Week of the Year. There's a lot of games happening. Come play them. We don't have time for them. We just mess around with handhelds and hang out in the menus and do the benchmarking. So you go enjoy them for us. That's what we have to say. But yeah, thank you all for your support. And yeah, until the next one, everybody, this has been Stubbs on behalf of Gamers Generation and Rob the Tech Dad.
Yep.
And you all saying, take care of those handhelds and take care of each other too.
Bye,
Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
It was a great episode.
Thank you both. Thank you everyone for having me.